Hi everyone, and welcome to the official 2020 Rising Fist Q&A. This video is mostly just for my subscribers as they've been asking for a Q&A for quite a while now, but if you stumbled upon this video without knowing who I am or what this channel is about, hi, my name is Paul, and I'm a writer and an illustrator. Basically what I do is I write and draw my own comics and then turn them into videos for YouTube. I also narrate them myself, and I do a lot of the voices in them along with my very talented voice team. I mainly do Dragon Ball fan stories when it comes to YouTube, but I'm slowly branching out into other topics as well. And so, without further ado, let's get this Q&A rolling with question number 1. Do you draw your own originals or do you just write the story? Well, the short answer is yes, I do. Getting custom art with commission is actually very expensive, and so it's really fortunate that art has been a hobby of mine since I was young. The YouTube thing is still kind of new to me, but I think the original art is actually a reason why people come to this channel in the first place. I've also heard that Dragon Ball fans come here to cry, which is also a good thing, I think, right? It's good to be known for something. How long have you been drawing Dragon Ball and what is your favorite anime? Well, I've been a Dragon Ball fan for about 20 years and I started drawing probably 2 years before that. I discovered Dragon Ball in grade school and I've been drawing Dragon Ball I suppose ever since, on and off. My favorite animes, now let's see, I'll narrow it down to a top 5. And so, in no particular order, we have Hajime no Ippo, Attack on Titan, Dragon Ball Z, Rurouni Kenshin, and Hunter x Hunter. I mean, to be honest, those should be on everyone's list, I think. Those are just universally regarded as some of the best anime, the best shonen anime out there. And so the next question reads, how long does it take you to make one of these stories? In general, it takes me 4 to 5 weeks. I try to keep it within that time frame, but it can take longer depending on the length of the story, i.e. if it's a much longer sort of 15-minute plus story, or if it's a shorter one like Old Man Goku's Last Day in Life, where it's mostly conversational and very few fight scenes. The Gohan vs. Cell project was a lot more complex in that it was planned as 4 parts, and also the finale was a very action-heavy finale, and so that took me a little bit longer to orchestrate as well. When do you plan to do the next Beerus race video? Love from Pakistan. Well, thanks so much my friend, and to answer your question, the next Beerus race video will be out as soon as the animation is finished. Jordan and his team are working really hard on episode 3, but the situation around the world is complicated and it has slowed down production for the project quite a bit. I've seen some snippets of it which I'll put on screen right here, but it is still a while away. I would estimate a couple months. Hopefully we can get it out before the end of the year. And so the next question reads, will you continue Lady Tigree's Frieza origin story? Absolutely. I think that Unguarded is one of the very best Dragon Ball fan comics out there, and I really enjoy the characters of Frieza and King Cold in particular. Tigre writes some great dialogue for those characters, and it's a real pleasure to voice them, so I'm actually super excited to do more.
I think we're all curious to see how the Emperor deals with these simian simpletons moving forward. Aren't you?
Why did you start your YouTube channel? Let me think about that for a second. I think that when it comes down to it, I was looking for something that was creatively fulfilling. I had a bunch of these cool ideas and I thought, man, I wonder if people will be interested in seeing these as videos. It would be a good excuse for me to start drawing again, it would be a good excuse for me to start writing again, as well as learning how to edit videos and do voiceover. And so I decided to binge a bunch of videos from my favorite English Dragon Ball YouTubers like Unreal Ant Gaming and Blackscape, and I just went forward from there. Well, it has certainly been a very interesting journey so far, and one that has required me to sacrifice a lot of my personal time. But I think that the work that I do for the channel and the content that I put out for you guys is well worth it when I see the comments that are positive, that encourage me to do more. It really is the fuel that I use in order to make these videos for you guys. So thank you so much for anyone who's left a comment, anyone who's left a like. You guys are the best. And so this next question expands on the previous one, and it asks, what did you do before YouTube? I was actually a marketing executive for a large corporation, and I decided to come onto YouTube to fulfill my creative needs because the job that I was in, well, it was pretty creatively dead, if I'll be honest. And so YouTube seemed to be the perfect vehicle to accommodate all the creative things that I wanted to do. And I guess the rest is history. And so the next question reads, will you ever do a story about Piccolo? Well, Piccolo is in the next one, but he's not the focus of the story. And I would like to do a story just about him and Gohan one day and explore that very, very unique friendship that they have. So it is in the pipeline, yes, but it probably will be a few months from now. I'm still sort of figuring out what I want to write, and I will announce it once I figured out exactly what kind of story it is. And for the next question we have, how do you come up with these original stories and the meaningful quotes at the end of every video? This is a two-part question, so I'll go ahead and answer the first part first. So with the stories that I tell, I think about the gaps that I can fill. You know, like what the official story of Dragon Ball hasn't shown us yet. I also think about what I would like to see as a fan as well. And so the second part of the question reads, how do I come up with the meaningful quotes at the end of every video? Those are actually from me. Honestly, those quotes are things that I really believe in. I think that with every loss, there's always something good to be found or something to be thankful for. And so for me, the stories are a way that I can share that message in particular with people around the world. When you lose something, it's not just a loss. There's always something else that you can find there, something positive that can push you forward. And that really is the main message that I try to portray with these stories of loss. Next question. Face reveal. Okay, I've actually done one before, but I don't think I've done one with my face on video, so I'll do that for you guys right now. Just give me 1 second. Hey guys, this is Rising Fist, and this is actually the first ever video face reveal that I've done for social media. So if you were curious, well, here you go. Hope you're enjoying the content and the questionnaire, and I should be out with a new story video very soon. Stay safe. Okay, so with that out of the way, the next question is, when am I good enough to start making my own comics or stories? Do you have any advice? Well, I say you should start right now. You see, the thing is, I'm not a great artist at all, but I still love to draw and write stories. If you have a story with a great message, I think that's way more important than having perfect art. If we look at the original One Punch Man webcomic as an example, it went viral because people in Japan loved the way the story was telling something that was different. Despite the art being, shall we say, substandard, the story itself was captivating, and the lesson here is, if you wait until you're good enough, you'll probably never start. And the next question is, who is your favorite DBZ character? No surprises here, I am Team Vegeta all the way. I find it really fascinating as to how his character has slowly changed as the story has progressed. And when we think about how this transformation has come about, it really is quite amazing. And if you really think about it, this really is, at least to me, his most impressive transformation. And the next question, would you ever do a story about Goku and Chi-Chi's final moments? And the answer to that is, yes, I would like to do one. The issue is that that story has to be very different from Vegeta and Bulma's final moments. Every story that I make has to have its own unique message, and until I figure out what that unique message is for Goku and Chi-Chi's story, I can't really move forward with it. And the next question is, do you plan to do any non-Dragon Ball projects? Oh yeah, absolutely. I've already started to branch out with Guillaume Dauden's Warden manga, which I absolutely love, by the way, and I also have a Greek Gods project which I'm working on, and I also have plans for Naruto, One Piece, and Hajime no Ippo as well in the near future. And the next question is, how old are you, Rising Fist, and do you have any kids? I'm 29, I don't have any kids. I have a girlfriend, but no plans to start a family just yet. I'm sort of just enjoying the phase of life that I'm in now, and really all my spare time goes into YouTube anyway, so if I was to have a family, I'm not sure that I would have time to allocate to something like YouTube. Now this again is another popular question, and I've been asked this multiple times in my 1 year on YouTube, and that is, would you ever rewrite the entire story of Dragon Ball, and what do you think of the current arc with Moro? I don't think that I would be able to, nor would I really want to. I love Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z the way that they are, and it would be like changing a huge piece of my childhood. Not to mention that it would take an insane amount of time to redraw the story from scratch, and as a one-man team, I think I'd probably go insane. I think the alternate story of Gohan that I did was probably an exception. And now on to the second part of the question, what do I think about the Moro arc? Well, I think we can all agree that it started off fairly promising with the introduction of some really cool characters, but it's beginning to fall apart right now. It's mostly to do with Goku's decision making. There are some lessons that he should have learned all the way back in Z, which have now been reversed by the writers. I would like to reserve judgment until we see the end of the arc, but for right now, it's not looking too promising. Do you have any hobbies or passions besides art? Yes, I do. I was a competitive powerlifter at one point, and I held a couple of national bench press records for Malaysia. I don't compete anymore, but I still do lift weights to stay in relatively decent shape. I used to do boxing as well, but I wasn't very good, and plus, I'd like to keep the remainder of my brain cells. Hi Rising Fist, what is your favorite story that you've made so far, and why? That story has to be Vegeta and Bulma's final moments. Of all the stories that I've written and drawn so far, that is the one that resonates with me the most. I was pretty motivated when working on it, and I really wanted to write a heartwarming story that focused on my favorite Dragon Ball couple. I knew what I wanted to accomplish, and the illustrations for the story kind of just popped into my head. I really didn't have to think much as I was drawing, and the result is something that I'm pretty proud of, even now. And as we near the end of this questionnaire, the last question is, why don't you show yourself more on camera like some of the other YouTubers? Well, to be perfectly honest, I don't really feel like there's a need to. People that know me kind of know that I'm generally quite a private person, and I don't like the spotlight to be on myself. I would much rather the spotlight be on the stories that I tell, and I don't really care about being famous or anything like that. Although in the future, it is on my list to appear at a Kamehacon and meet some of you guys, and maybe get some food and drinks. I think that would be super cool. Alright guys, we've reached the end of the Q&A, and thank you so much for posting your questions. It was really fun putting this together, and I appreciate all of you for being with me on this very unlikely and totally unforeseen YouTube journey. Stay safe out there guys, and I shall see you all in the next one. Peace.